Just ahead on CTV News.
As Thanksgiving approaches, BWI is gearing up for one of the busiest traveling days in history. I'm Anaya Falcon. Coming up, I'll share how travelers are faring.
Plus,
I'm Byron Scott in Cheltenham with students are building a house. We'll have more on that coming up. Stay tuned.
and find out where a local Olympian is headed for college. These stories and more on CTV News, starting now.
Good evening, this is CTV News for November 25th. I'm Michaela Newton. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, airports across the nation are gearing up for a busy Thanksgiving travel season. CTV's Anaya Falcon is at BWI and shares how travelers are faring.
We're here at BWI Airport where the Thanksgiving rush is on its way. And TSA officials say they are expecting 17.8 million people nationwide to screen during this holiday season up until December 2nd.
I got here 3 hours early. Yeah, I didn't want to take any chances, especially I'm traveling with a little pet.
Traffic is moving, is getting busy out there, so we decided to come a little bit earlier, a lot earlier.
This year's Thanksgiving travel season is spiraling toward historic levels. Airlines are predicting a massive surge despite recent disruptions from a government shutdown.
I have things to help me get through the gate, like the TSA or whatever, but it's all good. You just got to leave in enough time and prepare yourself.
U.S. airline trade groups say carriers will fly more than 31 million passengers during the holiday week. But one traveler who's traveling home from college for the holidays says he's not fazed by the expected traveling rush.
BWI isn't that big of an airport, so I usually get by pretty fast. So I usually just come maybe an hour before. Nothing serious.
So how's it going for you today?
It's good, smooth. Uber ride was good. Now I just got to get through TSA and I'm just going to get something to eat and chill.
And TSA says Sunday could go down as one of the highest screening days in its history, with more than 3 million people expected to be screened. From BWI, I'm Anaya Falcon, CTV News.
All right, thanks, Anaya. Reportedly, 8 of the highest volume travel days in TSA's history have occurred in 2025 alone. TSA has seen a daily increase of 14,000 more travelers per day in 2025 compared to 2024. Well, a new 462-page task force report could bring major changes for data center regulations in Prince George's County. Officials paused all new data center development earlier this year to take a closer look at its impact. The report recommends 14 big policy shifts, ending by right approvals, adding a high energy surcharge, tighter noise limits, and larger buffers between data centers and homes. Neighbors have been calling for more oversight, citing environmental and quality of life concerns. The County Council is expected to hold a public hearing soon as leaders decide whether to adopt the new rules. And a Prince George's County woman is suing the county and a police officer for years after she says a high-speed chase left her with life-altering injuries. Dashcam video shows Corporal Quan Lack driving the wrong way on Route 1 in 2021 before slamming head-on into young Mi Kim's SUV. Kim says she's still dealing with major health issues and claims the county has tried to avoid paying her medical bills. Internal reports found the crash was preventable, and the crash heads to trial on December 8th. Meanwhile, the United States Supreme Court rejected a new trial in the case of Jeremiah Antoine Sweeney. Sweeney was convicted of the second-degree murder for a 2010 shooting in Prince George's County. The defendant asked for a new trial, claiming his attorney was ineffective at the trial. The Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals ordered for him to have a new trial, but the justices unanimously overturned the decision, saying the appeals court wrongly ruled on Sweeney's claim. Sweeney was sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms plus 30 years. And a warning tonight from the Prince George's County Sheriff's Office. Scammers are now pretending to be sheriff's deputies, and they're getting away with thousands of dollars from terrified residents. Officials say more than $12,000 was stolen just this past week. Investigators say the scammers are using real names of sworn deputies, telling victims they missed a court date, and demanding immediate payment through gift cards or Bitcoin to avoid arrest.
It's very concerning. It's even happened to me. They've used my name before when they called down and said it was somebody from the sheriff's office, Mr. Moore, and they'll give a fake ID number because they really don't know what the ID numbers are, and they're able to tap into. We're public officials. You can find out information on anybody who works at any law enforcement agency throughout the country, and they're taking advantage of that when they're calling to the citizens saying that I'm officer so-and-so and you have a warrant and I need money for you. So they're taking advantage of those resources.
Now, deputies say if you get one of these calls, don't engage, just hang up. Residents are urged to report any scam call to the sheriff's office at 301-780-8500. And from reading, writing, and arithmetic, the great students of Prince George's County learn it all. But did you know that the students in the county's career and technical education are learning to build houses? Well, Byron Scott has our story on tiny houses.
On the grounds of the Prince George's School District site in Cheltenham, a team of Crossland High School students and teachers is building a house, a tiny house.
This house will be fully electric, heat, we're foam spraying everything. The electricity bill in this house will probably be $15 a month.
The project began some 3 weeks ago when about 35 students and teachers picked up their tools and got to work. First, examining the plans.
And that's basically what it's going to look like.
Then, executing them.
All right, that's in.
I lay brick, I lay stone. We're learning how to lay tile as well this year and pour concrete.
When all is said and done, the tiny house will include a first floor with a kitchen, living space, dining area, and a loft. What are the dimensions? How big is it going to be?
24 by 8.
Okay, and there's a second floor to this?
The second floor is just the bedding area. I think the 8 by maybe 10 or 12, if that.
We're going to lift this up just the way that it is.
On this day, they worked on putting a wall in place.
Oh, we can carry 10 of these. Come on.
I like how hands-on it is. I like how more interactive it is than regular classes. I'd be bored in other classes. I really like how I can really get my hands dirty and stuff.
The students are part of the county's career technical training program. It is where they learn academic and technical skills.
So I like to see the application of what our students are doing in the classroom, and then they're bringing it out to the world so they can publicly show what they're doing in the building every day.
As for the tiny house, the plan is to complete it in the spring and put it on the market for a buyer.
This is a trial experiment, but I believe it's going to blow up.
In Cheltenham, Byron Scott, CTV News.
And the district plans to have a ribbon-cutting ceremony when the tiny house is done. Well, the Department of Government Efficiency, also known as DOGE, no longer exists, and the organization received a failing grade from a civil servants group. DC-based Partnership for Public Service gave the DOGE an F for how they carried out their mission over an 11-month period. DOGE was created by President Trump with the goal of improving government efficiency, but the organization laid off thousands of federal workers and failed on its promise to slash the federal budget. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Michaela Newton. Still to come.
The Commanders team is getting back to fans in Prince George's County with their 24th annual Harvest Feast. I'm Sierra Jackson, and I'll have that story tonight on CTV News.
Live Squad, what's up? It's your girl Autumn Joy live. And guess what? You can catch my show every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. And then on Saturdays at 10 a.m. right here on CTV. We talk all things entertainment and fun. And I got some of the top celebrities coming to sit on my pink couch. So make sure you tap in. Grab those details now at our website, and I'll see you on CTV.
Nationwide overdose deaths are down overall, despite some states seeing spikes. According to the CDC, Maryland saw the largest decrease in non-fatal overdose deaths at 17%. Now, since 2023, overdose deaths have been dropping steadily after a huge spike during the pandemic. The states that are seeing a rise are continuing to share data about overdose surges to see if they can solve the problem. President Trump ordered military strikes against boats in open water in the Caribbean and Pacific Ocean, claiming they were bringing narcotics in the U.S., but there is no evidence to back up this claim. And with Thanksgiving just 2 days away, the Washington Commanders are continuing their commitment to supporting families in the DMV. Sierra Jackson is at the stadium with more.
The effort is here, the desire is here, and the people in leadership are with that.
Today at Northwest Stadium, the Washington Commanders hosted its 24th annual Harvest Feast, where they passed out 2,500 grocery bundles for Prince George's County residents.
Each year we get together and we do this for our families. And today, just to give you some idea of what we're going to be distributing, 2,500 bags that include a turkey, some Campbell soup products, near and dear to my heart. Right, Jane? Okay. Got some chunky soup maybe in there too. Beverages from Pepsi and other essentials to really make the holiday dinner come together.
The team, along with Major Tuddy, are ensuring families are fed this Thanksgiving, proving that football is more than what happens on the field. I spoke with former Commanders cornerback and Pro Football Hall of Fame inductee Darryl Green on how the team's community efforts have changed since his days on the field.
I thank God for the team. The owners are out here. The owners were never out here before, and the presidents were never out here before, and the quarterback has never been out here before. So I'm humbled by that. I'm grateful for that.
County Executive Aisha Braveboy says in times like this, with many residents facing job uncertainty, it's important for communities to rally together.
Of all the changes at the federal level, families who never thought that they would be in need are finding themselves in need. And so focusing on service, on meeting the needs of people, that's what my administration's been doing. That's what the commanders are out here doing today. So we look forward to our continued partnership, not just now, but in the years ahead.
This has been a tough year, and we know in Prince George's County, half of the residents are food insecure. That means they're not sure where their next meal will come from. To be able to do the Harvest Feast right before Thanksgiving and know that 2,500 families will have a really full dinner on Thursday means a great deal to us.
Melanie also wants residents to know that they can take advantage of the food bank year-round and not just in times of hardships.
We are every day working with over 100 partners around Prince George's County to serve the people in need, and we invite anyone to go to capitalareafoodbank.org to learn more.
Sierra Jackson, CTV News.
All right, Sierra, thanks so much. Now, hopefully this good deed does go unpunished when the Commanders face off against the Broncos on Sunday. For more information on the team's community efforts, visit commanders.com/community. Well, did you know the average person spends about 7 hours cooking their Thanksgiving meal? But if you want to spend more time enjoying your family and friends instead of cooking, dining out has become a second favorite. CTV's Gina Barty is at the National Harbor, where there's plenty of options to take advantage of this holiday.
Well, ladies, you might not know this, but did you know that 42% of Americans actually will either dine out or order out for Thanksgiving dinner? So if you're like me and you don't want to stand on your feet for 7 hours cooking, why not take advantage of Thanksgiving down at the National Harbor, where several restaurants will be open serving up Thanksgiving dinner. And joining me now is General Manager Julie Brown of Rosa Mexicana, who will be cooking Thanksgiving dinner for our patrons, won't you guys?
Yes.
So tell me, so you guys have a little flair to your Thanksgiving dinner. You have some traditional and then you have some
Latin culture absolutely going on. So we like to definitely bring in some of our like authentic cuisine, like notes, something people expect from Rosa, and kind of twist it into our classic Thanksgiving. So we have our classic turkey, but again, that's like marinated and brining in our classic Latin spices. We have a classic mole poblano gravy or regular gravy, and then we also have a huitlacoche stuffing for you, kind of bringing in those flavors.
A huitlacoche stuffing, that's interesting. So we have a little bit of kind of a fusion going on.
Yeah, a little bit of a truffle, very earthy, but still bringing in some of that Latin spice for you.
Why do you think so many people are dining out now for the holiday?
Well, I think, like you said, who wants to be on their feet for 7 hours? And also, who feels like cleaning up, setting it all up, hosting all that? Let us do it for you.
Yeah, most definitely. You can come down here to Rosa Mexicana. What time are you guys opening, and are reservations booking up?
Reservations are booking up, so book them now, and we're open from 12 to 10 that day.
Now, you not only will be having a great traditional kind of fusion Thanksgiving, but you're going to have your regular menu open as well.
Absolutely. If Thanksgiving's not your vibe, we can still do the full menu for you. So anything you like that day.
So not only do you have some of the traditional dishes, but you guys have a signature drink, and we're going to go over to the bar and have a taste of the signature drink that goes with the dinner.
I'm making Eternal Flame, and this is our featured drink for Thanksgiving. So I'm gonna start off with our lemon juice, and agave nectar, which is our sweetener. A little bit of pineapple. Then the good stuff is gonna be Verde Amara, excuse me. And then we're gonna use our Tequila Flecha Azul Añejo.
A few shakes, a final pour, and topping it off, a blood orange puree.
Then we garnish it with our dried blood orange, and voila.
Well, ladies, if you don't feel like cooking this Thanksgiving holiday, come on down to the National Harbor and enjoy a Thanksgiving dinner at Rosa Mexicano. Cheers. This is delicious. Yeah.
Looks good. All right, if you and your family would like to eat out this Thanksgiving, you can make a reservation at Rosa Mexicana by going to the website right there on your screen. Well, millions of Thanksgiving travelers could run into rough weather this week. Here at home, according to meteorologists, you should expect light rain tonight, lingering into early Wednesday. And if you're flying out, storms and possible flash flooding in the deep south. And snow across the northern plains into the Great Lakes could trigger delays at major hubs from Atlanta to Chicago and New York. Wednesday turns warm in the D.C. area, but by Thanksgiving, we're dropping into the 40s with wind chills in the 30s. And we're just days away from Black Friday, and shoppers are expected to spend less money this year. Experts say the lasting effects of the government shutdown, along with tariffs and inflation, are making it harder for the average American. According to the National Retail Federation, shoppers are going to spend on average $890 per person on the holidays. That's 1.3% less than last year. This comes as retailers such as Walmart, Target, and Kohl's are offering good deals. And still to come on CTV News, the holidays are here, which means so is the stress. To help us mentally prepare, we sit down with a licensed clinical psychologist. After the break, stay with us.
Listen up, it's the fourth quarter. You're almost there. Your boys just turned 18, but they need one more push. Don't let them forget to register with the Selective Service System. It's required by law, and if they don't register, they'll miss out on many important federal benefits. Parents, teachers, coaches, say it with me, sss.gov. sss.gov. Let's get them registered today.
Every minute, 20 people in the United States experience physical abuse from an intimate partner. But domestic violence goes beyond abuse.
I stand for kids growing up in safe, loving homes.
It's not always a partner. It can also be family.
Yo apoyo a las familias fuertes y a las comunidades fuertes.
Abuse can be emotional, verbal, and financial.
I stand for every survivor finding support and justice.
I stand for justice that protects and empowers.
I stand for teaching the next generation that love is never abuse.
We stand united against domestic violence.
Break the silence, break the cycle.
Welcome back. As the holiday starts to roll in, they're often associated with feelings of joy. But this time of year can also take a toll on our mental health. From stress, anxiety, and even feelings of loneliness, it can be a lot to manage. Joining us in the studio to discuss ways to mentally prepare for the season is licensed clinical psychologist and mental health expert, Dr. Lakita Carter. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So, with the holidays comes a lot of anxiety. You have to travel, financial stress, things like that. What tips can you give us to kind of manage that stress this time of year?
Okay, so there are a few things I want us to think about. One is that you have to protect your energy. So I want us to look at energy like we look at money. It's a resource. So when you are going to loved ones' houses or you're visiting family, where do you want to spend most of your energy and spend your money there? Because where you spend your money is what you value, right? So where you spend your energy and your time is what you value. Absolutely. Also, embrace the idea that you can live in the duality. You can be grateful and also be grieving. You can be thankful and be tired. Right? Both of those things can coexist. They can all sit at the same table because human beings are complex animals, right? So we have many layers, and I think sometimes when we try to only be grateful and push away grief, it ends up creating more stress for us. Yeah. And I'd also say keep in mind that silence is a response. So you don't have to attend every conversation you're invited to, and you don't have to share everything that comes to mind.
Yeah, that's really good tips. And not everyone is, close with their family. A lot of people don't have, close family relationships during the holidays, but how can you kind of navigate that? And even some people may have feelings of grief. They might have lost a loved one during the holidays. So how can they navigate that as well?
Yes, for many people, this will be the first holiday that they experience without that loved one, that immediate family member or close family member or friend that they were with last year. Mm-hmm. So my suggestion is that you create the family that you wanna be around. Keep in mind that every relative isn't family, right? So that we have friends that are more like family than we have relatives sometimes, and also, just create space for yourself to recover. So if you know that there's going to be some stress around this time for you, and you have a stressful job that you're going back to on Monday, then make sure you build in some recovery time on Sunday. Just like when we work out, we want to build recovery time after we lift heavy weights. We want to build recovery time when we're around stressful people in our lives.
Some time to just relax. Yeah. So what are some signs that a family gathering may be emotionally unsafe? We all know that family member that might be asking you all these different kinds of questions, but what are some signs that a family gathering might be emotionally unsafe?
Yeah, that feeling of dread that you get in your stomach is a sign that this might not be a safe place for you to be, or these might not be safe people for you to be around. And so again, we want to create the space. It's your holiday too. It's your holiday too. So you get to create the space that you want to be in. You get to create the space that creates joy and peace, as well as, be around family members that are healthy for you.
Now, a lot of experts talk about seasonal depression and how it can creep up during the holidays. Yeah. What are some signs of seasonal depression, and what can you do about it?
Sure. So changes in your appetite and sleep are signs, as well as social isolation, also chronic sadness, so we're feeling sad more often than not. You have difficulty connecting to others. Sometimes you even have a loss of interest in the things that you used to enjoy.
Now, is this because of the lack of sunlight that we're getting, or just the time of year?
In part. So in the wintertime, people hunker down. We're generally a little bit less friendly in the wintertime than we are in the summertime. Summer is lighter and airier. Also, there is less sunlight, so we're getting less vitamin D, and vitamin D helps with mood boosting. So yeah, the shortened day, the lack of sunlight all contributes to a dip. And of course, we have more rain, especially on this side of the country. We have more rain in the wintertime and in the fall and spring than we do in the summer. So all of that impacts our mood and our stress level. But there are definitely ways that we can combat that.
Now, what's your last piece of advice for our viewers who are feeling that dip or that mood slipping as the winter months approach?
Yes, great question. So exercise. Move your body 30 minutes a day. You do not have to do the exercise that everybody else does. Move your body. If that's dance, if that's going to yoga, if that's lifting, whatever it is, move your body at least 30 minutes a day. Also, sleep. Adults should be getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night, because sleep has a major impact on our mood and our stress level. So if you're not getting enough sleep, that could certainly make your mood dip. Okay, and lastly, social connection. So get around people, even if you don't feel like it. Get around people. Say yes to that event. Say yes to the small gathering. Yes to coffee, because all of that impacts our mood. And people who are socially connected have lower rates of depression.
Great tips. Thanks so much for joining us, Dr.
My
Carter.
pleasure.
I appreciate it. All right, if you would like to get more mental health tips from Dr. Carter, you can visit her website, lakitadcarter.com. All right, don't go away just yet. It's now time for our Tuesday Sports page. And I hear we have a big announcement from a local Olympian. What's going on, Simon?
Stay right there, everybody, because coming right up, a local track and field Olympian stays close to home for his college career. Find out who after the break. Stay tuned.
Dear Santa, I hope you are having a good day in the North Pole. Is it cold all the time there? Is that why your cheeks are so rosy? My mom says I'm a good helper, but you didn't come last year. Was my chimney broken? I just really hope this year when I wake up, I'm gonna see that you came to my house too.
Donate and help the Marines deliver hope to a child in need.
All right, everybody, we begin your Tuesday sports page with some news from the gridiron as Bowie State has parted ways with their head football coach in Kyle Jackson. During his time with the Black and Gold, Jackson compiled a 19-21 record, including a 10-16 record in the CIAA. And this past season, the Bulldogs finished the season at just 3-7. Jackson was named the 10th head coach in the program's history in January of 2023 after serving as the interim head coach during the 2022 season. And before that, he served as the program's recruiting coordinator as well as linebackers coach. Bowie State is currently conducting a nationwide search for its next football coach. In other news, a local track and field star made headlines last night as Quincy Wilson has committed to the University of Maryland. Wilson, who is the youngest track and field male Olympian in U.S. history, took home the gold medal in the 2024 Paris Olympics last summer, participating in the 4x400 relay. The Virginia native is currently a senior at Bullis High School in Potomac. Wilson chose Maryland over other top track and field programs such as UCLA, USC, Texas A&M, Carolina. And sticking with Terp sports news, the football team will be taking the field this weekend for their last game of the season. Maryland will face off against Michigan State over at Ford Field in Detroit for their last ride together of the year. And Terp's defensive lineman Zahir Mathis touched on their upcoming matchup against the Spartans, specifically the green and white's O-line.
One thing that jumps off the tape to me is their offensive line. You know, I see how their progress and fitting, they take blocks very simple in steps. You know, they focus on their inside steps first just to get to their blocks. You know, they got a real tight slide protection up front. So that's really the main thing that's pointed out to me. You know, I feel as though our defense can really attack that, you know, and make it a main product to our game to be able to take this one on.
Kickoff is on Saturday at 7 o'clock. Come on, y'all, let's finish the year off right. And wrapping up sports, the Washington Wizards will be back in action tonight against Jalen Johnson and the rest of the Atlanta Hawks. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock. And that is your Tuesday sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
All right, thanks, Simon. Let's get a look at our 3-day weather forecast tonight. Be on the lookout for rain and patchy fog as we hit a low of 53. Tomorrow, more rain is expected with a high of 70. For Thanksgiving Thursday, partly sunny with a high of 45. And for Black Friday, bright and sunny with a high of 41. And for our community calendar, starting this Friday, get in the Christmas spirit with the Parks and Rec's annual Festival of Lights. From the comfort of your own car, see the dazzling display of lights down the Watkins Regional Park Trail. The display takes place from 5 to 9:30 p.m., but for more information, visit the website right there on your screen. And that wraps CTV News up for now. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good night.